Hello, my friends. I'd like to open this reading for the autumnal equinox with the great death conquering mantra. Om Shayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Morva Rukamiva Vandanam Mrityor Mukshiyam Amritat. Om Shayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Morva Rukamiva Vandanam Mrityor Mukshiyam Amritat. Om Shayambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Morva Rukamiva Vandanam Mrityor Mukshiyam Amritat. When the cucumber ripens, it falls from the vine. That is my favorite line from that mantra. It is a reminder that for every season there is a cycle, there is a beginning and an end. And as we enter into the season of fall, we enter the season of transformation, where the cucumber ripens and falls from the vine. When we think about the spring equinox, it's when life comes to flourish. And then the autumnal equinox is when life quiets down. We go inward for deep inner transformation as we enter the final quarter, where the sun casts the longest shadows. We are encouraged to go within. The same way we have less light during the day, we give more light to ourselves. And so as we enter Libra season, it's about finding balance within and balance without. We've ended the season of summer with the Virgo harvest, and now we prepare for the winter. We pickle canned goods, right? We make jellies, we preserve food so that we can best prepare to survive the winter. This is about preparation, transformation for survival. The same way a cucumber can be a pickle, we must go within and look within to ourselves for deep transformation. What are the lessons that we've learned, and how we can now focus on those lessons and go deep within to create long-lasting change in our lives. So the energy for the autumnal equinox, I have the Caroline Myss archetype cards, is the scribe. Interesting. Preserving knowledge and information. But the shadow attribute is altering facts or plagiarizing others' work. We are seeing this on a global scale currently, but on the internal level, on the personal level, we're being called to journal, to share information, but to do so with integrity and honesty. Don't lie to yourself about what it is, right? Don't live in fantasy or fallacy. Be honest, be willing to face reality. Be willing to preserve knowledge and information. So we have the scribe energy preparing us for this autumnal equinox as we get ready for the fall, right? Going within, spending time in contemplation and reflection. We have the Nine of Swords and Justice coming out. Nine of Swords is intrusive thoughts, anxiety, overwhelm, scarcity mindset, and justice. So we have 9-11. Justice is about truth. The energy of the scribe, preserving truth. The pen is mightier than the sword. And we can see here her sword is battle worn. She's fought some battles. And Nine of Swords energy is, it's very, what's the word I'm looking for? It's mental energy. And we can see there's a sword in the Justice card. So it's actually 10 swords pictured here. The 10 of Swords is the end of a cycle, right? So We have the culmination of a cycle, the Nine of Swords, intrusive thoughts, but now we also have the end of a cycle that allows us then to come to justice, bringing truth to the light, preserving knowledge and information, from that place of authenticity and truth and connection to reality, being fair, being balanced. Justice is the card for Libra in the tarot deck. All right, so very appropriate that the Justice has come out for this reading as we move into the sign of Libra. As of the time of me recording this, we are in the new moon solar eclipse, the final Virgo new moon. We had the first Virgo full new moon back at the very beginning of Virgo season on August 22nd. And then today we had the final Virgo new moon. So the significance of these two new moons was really about focusing on and being intentional in how we care for ourselves, what kind of goals we want to bring to our lives. Virgo rules over the 6th house of home, health, habits, and being of service to others, as well as our pets. And so the two new moons bookending this Virgo season was really about focusing on how we can best care for ourselves so we can best be of service for others. And as we come to the end of that cycle and we move into Libra season, we are being called upon to speak our truth. This is very important to speak our truth. Right now on the world stage, there are some very alarming things happening when it comes to censorship and a lot of conflicting ideas and ideologies. And I feel as though when I see the Nine of Swords and the Justice card coming out, this is a reminder to speak your truth, but also to be willing to accept that other people have different truths, right? Justice. All perspectives are real and valid. We all have our own version of truth. Some are more based in reality than others, but as to who or what that is, it is not for us to judge or to decide. We can only determine for ourselves what is true and just. And it is so important that we focus on our truth, that we show up with integrity and speak our truth, that we are not altering facts for the sake of an argument, but we stand firm in the debate of truth, but also recognizing that not everybody has the same truth. We all live different life experiences. We all have different versions of the truth. We all have different versions. We all have different perceptions, and the best way we can make it acceptable for people to accept our perceptions is to also be able to accept their perceptions, right? Many things can be true at the same time, even when they are contradictory in nature, okay? So Nine of Swords, there's a lot of intrusive thoughts, there's a lot of arguments happening, but justice will prevail. It is up to us to stand firm to our own version of the personal truth and preserve that knowledge and information, stand up to censorship. So I'm gonna see what other messages do we have coming through for us for this. Whoa, there we go. The Fool. The Fool came out reversed. So there's a new opportunity here. There's new opportunities on the horizon. We must be willing to have faith, right? The Fool is ready to, it looks like San Francisco in the background with the Golden Gate Bridge. But I don't know how close San Francisco is to the mountains. The Fool is looking, he's not even looking where he's going. He's just blindly stepping off the edge of the cliff, and he is smelling his flower, right? This is reversed. We're being cautioned. While we do want to turn the page and start anew, right? There are cycles within cycles within cycles. We want to kind of start on a fresh page, right? Write a new chapter. To not be so foolish. Look before you leap. Don't just jump into something blindly. Open your eyes. Pay attention to what's going on around you. don't be so caught up, your head in the clouds is the phrase. Don't let your head be in the clouds, preventing you from paying attention to what's happening, so that you're not disillusioned, right, by false truths. Because while everybody's perception of reality is true and valid, there are a lot of people who are perpetuating false truths. And to be able to distinguish between them, it takes a lot of critical thinking to be able to do that, and to really have faith and trust in your own version of truth. And so that when you come across these false truths, you'll know if it's false or not, or if it's just someone else's different perception based on how you hold true to your own personal truths, your own values, and how you show up with integrity. So I'm going to pull a Trust Your Vibe Oracle card to help us navigate the next month. How can you trust your vibe? Ooh, things are flying. Get back to the body. I love this card. This is a gorgeous card. This is a gorgeous oracle deck, Trust Your Vibes Oracle. I'm not going to read the message from the book, but Trust Your Vibes Oracle. Get back to the body. Being able to, and we can see the sun and the moon here pictured, trusting the messages from the body, nourishing the self, taking care of the self, coming back to balance within the self is going to be very important right now. If the best way to distinguish between our truths, false truths, and the perspectives of others is being able to listen to your intuition, tune into your body sensations, trust your gut, right, is really going to be very important. We have the healing messages from Spirit. How can we best navigate these times? Courage arrives when you step over fear. And the second message, there was two cards stuck together. There's so much more to you than you think. Courage arrives when you step over fear. Being brave isn't about not being afraid. It's about being afraid and doing it anyway. And when you step over your fear, you discover there is so much more to you than you think. You can find you can reach your limit. You can test yourself, and you can show up. You can do amazing. You can do so much more than you thought you could. But you must first be willing to step over the fear. Show up. Speak your truth. There's a lot of fear right now around speaking our truths. There's a lot of noise, right? A lot of extremist opinions everywhere, and people who are kind of in the middle, just a little more, I don't want to say common, right? We're afraid to speak up because getting drowned out by all the noise and from other people, it can be afraid, right? There can be a lot of fear around showing up and speaking your truth. And every voice is important and every perception is valid, right? And so everybody's voice deserves to be heard. And so being able to speak up, share your truth, step over fear, and step into the full expression of yourself. There's so much more to you than you think, but you must first be willing to let go of the fear from holding you back. This might not even be about speaking your truth so much as finally doing the thing that you've always wanted to do. What's holding you back from doing the thing that you've wanted to do? Let's ask the cards here. What's holding us back from doing the thing that we want to do? We all have different things that affect us, right? But the same way that the same song can have different meanings to different people is how these collective readings work, right? There's multiple interpretations for each card. I'll do my best to kind of highlight all of the different versions, and you get to find for yourself, you can fill in the blank what suits you. So what's holding us back is from stepping into our personal power, owning our place, feeling important, feeling valid. The King of Wands is really the king of manifestation, the ultimate king of manifestation. But manifestation is two parts. It's one, creating the reality within your mind, but then it's also taking aligned action. And the King of Wands, there's this fear for me on a personal level, I've been confronting this over and over again the last several weeks. There's this fear around taking that aligned action. I have all of these ideas and I sit there and I'm not speaking up. I'm not taking the actions. I'm not reaching out. I'm not doing the work. And stepping into our authority. Marianne Williamson says, what is the quote? I always butcher this. What we're truly afraid of is our own light, right? We are afraid of what it would be like to stand fully in our power, right? And so can you release the fear around being that powerful person that you are? We are all powerful beings, but we, through the course of life, are told, no, you're not, by many people for many reasons. And can you let go of that? Can you let go of those limiting beliefs that other people have imposed upon you, and instead stand in your own strength, your own truth, your own purpose, stand in your own power? The best way to do that is to get back to the body. The ascending master that I pulled at the beginning to help guide me for this reading, which is why I opened with the mantra, Paramahansa Yogananda, he wrote Autobiography of a Yogi. Choose peace, right? Get back to the body, do some yoga, learn to soothe your central nervous system so that you're not getting in your own way. When we can strengthen our body, become in tune with our body, we can better listen to our intuition. And that allows us to stand in the energy of the King of Wands, making amazing things happen. Get back to the body. Yoga is the way, right? Don't just go blindly off into the world. Make some plans. Think about what you have to do. Take aligned action. Drown out the noise that's happening around you and speak from your place of truth. Allow the pen to be mightier than the sword. We as a society have to learn how to have honest discourse and be okay with people having conflicting viewpoints, and be able to talk about that, right? That is something that I feel like, my whole mantra for doing this is when we heal ourselves, we can heal the world, right? And when we can hold honest, open conversations with people, when we can listen to them from a place of without reacting, right? When we do that work on ourselves first, we can better listen to other people and create space and conversation and understanding. You don't have to agree with everybody in your life, and not everybody has to agree with you, but we do need to be able to understand one another. And that is how society, that is how humanity evolves, right? But it first comes from that place of healing the self first. And there's so many different ways to do that. Understanding what it is that's getting in your way. What is your deepest fears? What are the subconscious limiting beliefs that have been imposed upon you as when you were a child? Are you acknowledging those and working to heal them instead of allowing them to hold you back, living that same old story over and over again, right? This is how we find true healing, by taking back our power, getting in tune with ourselves. It's so important. It's such important work, right? If we're all walking around with our heads in the clouds and, just fighting for the sake of arguing with no real purpose and having no thoughtfulness around it, it makes the world crazy, right? We have to work to heal ourselves first on that deep personal level, so that we can show up differently in the world and deepen that ripple effect of healing that this world so desperately needs, right? And these next 3 months, we're really being called to do that deep inner work. This is the season for that deep inner work, for reflection. Allow yourself to be bored, right? We are constantly distracted. Can you allow yourself to be bored, to sit with your thoughts, your feelings, your emotions, meditate, yoga, right? Choose peace. When we can soothe our nervous system, we can operate from a place of peace, allowing us to hold space, to listen to people, that we agree with, that we disagree with, and not allow ourselves to be triggered, right? It is a practice. It is a practice, but this is the time to do it, right? As the days become shorter, we're not out running around in the summer fun, we're getting home earlier at night, we're getting tired easily. Listen to your body, allow yourself to follow the natural rhythms of the sun's movement. Days are shorter, nights are longer, allow yourself to rest and to sleep more. When you are more rested, you can better soothe your nervous system. So I have here the Healing Waters Oracle. Plunge. Don't hold back, it's time. Go for it, dive in. Plunge into the self. Plunge into the self. Really, our first and most important relationship is our relationship to self. And it's time to get in touch with the self, to go deep within. Go deep within. I feel called to read the message for this book though, for this card. Plunge. Don't falter as you approach the water. Dive right on in. Head first, don't resist. You've been working for this for a long time. You're ready, go for it. The answer is yes. I love it. That's the full energy right there. This is a card of confirmation and clarity. It's an invitation to take the plunge and say yes. If you're someone who prefers to wait for permission or a timely invitation, you could consider this card's message just that. There are times for waiting, for restoring, and for repairing. Well, it's a little different than what I was interpreting it as. This is not one of those times. It doesn't necessarily mean that you feel completely prepared or fully confident. Those who dive in rarely do. But their attachment to resistance becomes less than their desire for the new. Maybe this is what's been happening for you. If you don't feel ready, remember that so-called giant leaps are rarely that in reality. In most cases, there are hundreds, if not thousands, of baby steps taken day after day in the direction of a dream. Whatever it is that you most desire, the signs are pointing you in that direction. Now take a deep breath and a great big run up and take the plunge. If you weren't worried about it not working out, what would you plunge into right now? Interesting. So allow that message to wash over you, pun intended. It is the Healing Waters Oracle deck. What is it in your life that you are afraid to jump into? Again, that fear, the fear of standing in your own power. Is there been something that you've been wanting to do, but the fear of standing on your own, of showing your light, shining your light has been holding you back? It's time to dive in. Do the thing, right? Allow that to put you forward, to step in fully. And our final card, we have the Animal Elders deck this is an oracle deck from the Chippewa Nation. The author is from Chippewa, and she is on a mission to share her medicine with the world, and so she created this oracle deck of animal elder medicine. And so how can we, what animal, you can keep an eye out for this animal showing up for you in any way, shape, or form. A drawing, a TV show, a cartoon, the advertisement on a side of a bus. Maybe you'll see it in real life. Allow this message when you see this animal to show up as confirmation and pulling upon the medicine of this animal to help step into. We have the elder salmon. Keep going, right? The salmon have to swim upriver to lay their eggs, and you have to keep going. Be willing to fight the uphill battle against the current. The salmon, the elder salmon. Let me see. Read the message here, and we'll end our reading for today. So take the plunge and keep going. When this determined fish swims into your life, you are gifted with the medicine of resilience. Even when the odds are against you and you are swimming against the current, Elder Salmon reminds you that you can overcome the toughest challenges of life. This fish is sacred in many indigenous communities, offering an abundance of food and sustenance. They remind you that you will always have everything you need to succeed, but you must put forward your best effort to access it. After an incredible journey through oceans and rivers, elder salmon returns to their birthplace to spawn, reminding us of the importance of remembering who we are and where we came from. And these next 3 months are a great opportunity to really dive into that. Your ancestors moved through many journeys where they had to stay strong in the face of adversity to survive. They have passed this down to you, and elder salmon helps you to reclaim the resilience of your lineage. Whatever you might be struggling with at this time, elder salmon is here to encourage and guide you forward. Sometimes it takes conscious and intentional effort to move ahead, and you are being asked to dig deep into the parts of you that know how to forge ahead. Spirit knows that this journey can feel like a long one, and if you are tired or discouraged, you have elder salmon to inspire you. After all, if it can make the leaps upstream against the flow of the rushing waters, you too can overcome the obstacles you encounter. Elder salmon speaks. When you feel like giving up, call upon my resilient medicine. I am here to assist you in persevering through the hard times and to remind you that there is so much bounty on the other side. I make great leaps on my journey through the waters, and if you need a strong push, I will offer the same energy through your system. With my support, you will remember what you are made of. So I hope these messages resonate for you. The Elder Spider came out. I'm just going to read Elder Spider Speaks, Weave Your Medicine. I have a focused ability to feel in the vibrations that move through my web, and I offer this to you now to fine-tune your senses to the subtle messages from the source of creation. Tune into your body. There will always be shadowy forces at work trying to pull you off path or interfere with your pure heart and mind. Together we weave beautiful intentions for your creations in the world, much like the dewdrops that sparkle on my webs in the sun. Have peace, knowing that I am blocking out negative energies so that only good medicine can drop in. I love that. I almost didn't read this card, and I'm so glad I did. Weave a web of protection around you. Block out the noise. Trust yourself. Speak your truth. Choose peace and tune into the body. Choose fear. Choose courage over fear. There is so much more to you than you think. And be willing to step into your power so you can take the plunge and do the thing that needs to be done. And allow yourself to do the thing even when you are afraid. And you'll be so thrilled that you did. I hope this was helpful. I will be back with another reading. In the meantime, I hope you have a blessed rest of your day and enjoy this time of autumnal equinox, and allow yourself the time and space to go within and start beginning that deep reflective work. Plunge into self, as well as plunging into doing what it is that you are called to do. Share your voice in any way that feels right for you. Namaste, my friends.